Today's modern airliners fly in all sorts of weather. In all sorts of environments. So they can get very dirty. Besides making a bad impression on customers, a dirty airplane can be more difficult or even impossible to inspect. In many cases, a dirty airplane will wear out faster than a clean one. This causes increased maintenance and increased downtime. The obvious solution to this problem is to wash planes to keep them clean. But that isn't as simple as it might sound. Today's airplanes are very large. The only practical way to wash them is with pressurized sprays of water, solvent, or detergent. But today's planes are also very complex, in some ways delicate machines. If not done properly, high-pressure washing can cause more damage than it prevents. In this program, we're going to look at the right way to use high-pressure washing equipment to wash an airplane, other ways to wash in areas where high-pressure washing might not be appropriate, and maintenance you should do after washing to make sure that no problems develop as a result. We'll also see the kinds of damage that result from improper washing or improper follow-up maintenance. Before we get started, always remember, the Boeing maintenance manuals are your best source for up-to-date, approved maintenance procedures. The example we will follow in this program uses 3 steps: pre-treatment, in which a chemical degreaser is used to loosen surface grease and dirt; washing, in which a heated solution and mechanical agitation is used to break the bond between greasy accumulations and the aircraft surfaces; and rinsing, in which medium pressure water is used to remove the loosened dirt and any remaining degreaser. Before proceeding, make sure that all personnel that may come in contact with chemical agents or be hit by high-pressure spray are properly protected. Eye protection is especially important. Also, make sure the cleaner you plan to use is on the approved list in the maintenance manual. If it isn't, the cleaner should be tested according to Boeing document D6-17487, Certification Testing of Airplane Maintenance Materials. This is to make sure the cleaner will not damage aircraft materials or finishes. Pre-treating with a degreaser decreases the amount of effort needed for manual cleaning and the amount of force needed for pressure washing. Saturate areas that are especially dirty, and be sure to allow the degreaser time to work before you begin washing. Give it time to penetrate all the way to the surface being cleaned. Some components are especially sensitive to contamination from pressure washing. Electrical connectors can fill with water. This can lead to short circuits or corroded contacts. The water can even freeze and cause intermittent operation of the connectors. High-pressure sprays can force water, solvents, and other contaminants into bearings and wash grease out. This can cause premature wear. Hinges, such as those on wing panel access doors, can have the same problems. protect these components by not spraying them directly with high pressure, or by covering them. In any event, you will probably find it necessary to wash some components the old-fashioned way, by hand. Sometimes you can still use the spray. Reduce the amount of pressure against the component by keeping the nozzle at a safe distance. What's a safe distance? That depends on a number of variables. The best way to determine this is by experimentation. Start with the nozzle far away from the surface being cleaned, and only move it close enough to remove the dirt. As a guideline, the maintenance manual recommends that you keep the nozzle no less than 12 inches away. Avoid control cables and pulleys completely. The cables can retain water and corrode internally. The pulleys contain small bearings that can corrode or wear. Even in areas where there are no sensitive components, it's not always a good idea to just blast away dirt. Some pressure washers are easily capable of stripping away protective corrosion-inhibiting compounds, or CICs. We've even seen examples of paint being stripped away by overly aggressive pressure washing. Again, bring the nozzle only close enough to the work surface to remove dirt and grease. When the washing is complete, rinse with low to medium pressure fresh water. This will remove any remaining contamination and residue. Now that our plane is clean, let's take a look at follow-up maintenance tasks. Coordinate lubrication and washing schedules so that you lubricate the plane as soon as possible after washing. This helps prevent corrosion before it gets a chance to start. Relubable joints and bearings should be flushed with grease. For non-relubable bearings, prevention is the best cure. Protect them from contamination during the washing procedure either by covering them up or by simply avoiding them with a high-pressure spray. You may also apply a layer of grease around the seals after washing. This displaces moisture and keeps dirt and contamination from entering the bearing. Lubricate any hinges, such as these on a wing access panel door, that may have been contaminated during washing. Look in Chapter 12 of the Maintenance Manual for complete information on lubrication procedures. Some aircraft surfaces have been protected with corrosion-inhibiting compounds, or CICs. Reapplication of CICs is recommended anytime you wash an area protected by them, and required for airplanes covered by the Aging Airplane Fleet Program. CICs can either be sprayed on or brushed on. See Chapter 20 of the Corrosion Prevention Manual for specific instructions. You should also watch for areas that can trap liquid. Make sure that these areas are flushed clean of any solvents or detergents. Remove any remaining rinse water and reapply CICs where appropriate. Let's review the major points we've discussed. High-pressure washing is a practical, cost-effective way to wash large modern aircraft. But precautions must be taken to prevent injury to personnel and damage to equipment. Make sure that all workers are properly protected from chemical agents and high-pressure spray. Proper eye protection is particularly important. Protect vulnerable components, either by covering them or simply avoiding them with a high-pressure spray. Some areas should be washed by hand. Give the degreaser time to work and then use the minimum force necessary. Coordinate washing and lubrication schedules to prevent problems before they start. Re-lubricate all components and mechanisms that have been affected by the washing. Make sure that no liquid remains trapped in areas that do not drain on their own. Reapply corrosion-inhibiting compounds if they have been removed during washing. And finally, remember that the maintenance manual and the corrosion prevention manual are your best source for up-to-date, approved information on these and other maintenance procedures. You can also check the April-June 1988 issue of the Boeing Airliner magazine. The cover article, High Pressure Washing, contains other useful information about this process. If you keep in mind the areas of concern discussed in this program that might not be so obvious, you can prevent premature wear that results from improper washing or improper follow-on maintenance. Reduce inspection, maintenance, and downtime, and help make a good impression on customers. That's not a bad day's work.